My name is Susan Brender, and I'm the host of the Susan Brender Show. Today, I'm with Charlene Jones, the director of the Spady Center.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about you, Charlene. What do you do here at the Spady Center?
Oh gosh, I do everything. I'm the tour guide and the bathroom washer. But basically what we do, we are a Black History Museum, so we collect and share the Black history of Palm Beach County, especially with our youth. So we have a lot of Palm Beach County school district approved lesson plans that we host our youth with.
Well, in just a little while, people are going to be listening to our podcast. Stay tuned. And I'm Susan Brender, and this is Charlene Jones.
Welcome to the Susan Brender Show. It's all about you, featuring shows on health and wellness, the performing arts, politics, and people who inspire you to be your best. And now, here's Susan Brender.
I'm Susan Brender, the host of the Susan Brender Show. I met Charlene Jones, the director of the Spady Center, as a result of my endeavors to teach youth to create podcasts. And not only that, I am also trying to do an online audio, which is known as the Lion's Roar, with youth as well. Now, I want to introduce my guest, who is Charlene Jones.
Hi, Susan.
Well, hi there, Charlene. You are doing an amazing job at the Spady Museum. And can you introduce yourself and tell us what the Spady Center is all about?
Oh, I would love to. Well, my name is Charlene Barrington Jones, and I'm the museum director here at the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum. The Spady Museum is located in the former home of Solomon David Spady, who was third teacher here in Rey Beach for the colored children. We were a deeply segregated South here back in the 1920s when Mr. Spady lived here. And he was the teacher and eventually the principal in what was known as the colored school here in Rey Beach. So the museum is operated in what was his former home. So it's a two-storied Mission Revival style home, and we have two gallery spaces in which we show the photographs of early Black pioneers of Delray Beach, and we also bring in traveling exhibits in our gallery space.
Now, please explain, Charlene, to everyone how youth are involved with the museum and what things they do here.
Well, we have a youth summer camp called the Youth Cultural Empowerment Summer Camp, and what we do is train children, typically middle school-aged kids, on several things, primarily Black history of Florida, how to curate and create their own exhibition, and we also teach them public presentation skills. These are three things that the Spady Museum staff and volunteers excel at, and we want to impart and share this information with our youth, and so the summer camp focuses on those three things. We are in the process of planning a new spring camp for our youth where we will continue to teach them Black history, and in terms of teaching them public presentation skills, we would like to teach them how to record and edit and publish podcasts, and that's where the new program, The Lion's Roar, comes in.
Let's talk about how the Susan Brender Show and the Lion Roars Project can work with each other to make this a successful program.
Well, let me start by saying Mr. Spady, Mr. Solomon Spady's teaching philosophy always was, it is important to teach the heart and the hands as well as the mind. So the staff and the board of the Spady Museum are continuing his legacy by teaching youth a usable skill that they can keep, they can learn, and they can use throughout their lifetime. So with the Lion's Roar program, we are going to be working with high school-aged youth, 10th and 11th graders, and we're going to be teaching them how to select people from the community, people who they think have an important message to share, and recording those people's stories so that they could be preserved forever. Now, the Susan Brender Show brings to the table the expertise in teaching the children how to select a guest and how to interview that guest. The Susan Brender Show and their partners also will be teaching the children how to record those stories and edit them and then upload them to the website, to the Spady Museum website and others for access to by anyone else in the community.
All right. Do you have any idea, Charlene, about who the kids will interview?
Well, we have several community who live here in South Florida who have done amazing things in the United States. We have colonels in the armed forces. We have people who have founded and created cultural institutions. We have retired professors. We have retired civil rights workers. We have musicians. South Florida, especially Rey Beach, has always been an artist community. Artists would gather here to share ideas. So we have all kinds of artists in the area, from musicians to visual artists to writers, cartoonists. So there's a wealth of resources here in South Florida for the high school kids to choose from in terms of people being interviewed.
Mm-hmm. That sounds very interesting. But I want to talk about Calvin Ramsey. Now, I met Calvin Ramsey in New York City, and he is an inspiration.
Calvin Ramsey wrote a children's story called Ruth and the Green Book. Ruth's family was going on a long trip. A friendly attendant at a gas station showed Ruth's family the Green Book. It listed all of the places that would welcome black travelers. With this guidebook and the kindness of strangers, Ruth could finally make a safe journey from Chicago to her grandma's house in Alabama. Ruth's story is fiction, but the Green Book and its role in helping a generation of African-American travelers avoid some of the indignities of the Jim Crow are a historical fact. This wonderful book was written by Calvin Ramsey. Doesn't this sound sensational?
He's an amazing person whom I want the students to interview. Do you think that's going to be possible?
I absolutely think so. I think once we contact Mr. Ramsey and explain to him the value of him sharing his successes and his road to success with high schoolers who are embarking on their life's journey, I can't imagine that he would not be willing to be interviewed by our students.
And we also, that is really impressive that you have the students interviewing some very, very interesting people. And I want to add somebody else to the list, and that person is Shelly Siegel. Now, Shelly, a wonderful job on producing and maybe, I'm sure, directing and writing a story, a documentary that is about Maya Angelou. And do you think that would make a great interview for the kids?
Oh, I definitely think so. All of our children will have heard of Maya Angelou, but may not have had an opportunity to meet her. So once they have been exposed to some of the fabulous poetry that she is known for, talking to someone like Shelly who can tell them a little bit more about her life's journey, I think would be very impactful for our children.
So how do you think this will empower the youth who participate?
Giving youth a skill that they can use, that they can take with them in any business or industry or job market that they care to enter, giving them a tool in their tool belt that they can use for their own personal edification, I think is very important for our youth today. Many youth may or may not be able to go on to college. They may or may not be able to go on to a trade school. And if they have this kind of skill, as well as some of the other skills that we teach, that they can use to, better themselves and to perhaps get positions, the positions that they want, I think is very important for our youth to know. In addition to that, it's always extremely important for youth to know that there are adults in their community who care about them and will be there to help them along their life's journey. And so being able to meet all these people, interview them, talk to them, create relationships with them, it creates a foundation for our youth to grow from. And I think that's very important, and I think Mr. Spady would approve.
Well, Charlene, how long will this project last? Do you anticipate it lasting at least, shall we say, a year?
Absolutely. I would like this partnership to continue for years to come. And I haven't really said this yet, but I'm going to say that one of the things that we are missing in our community is the apprenticeship structure, where we have youth who are working with adults on teaching others, and they learn from actually working with those adults. And I would like to see some of the youth who participate in this program to come back and give back to their own communities by being able to teach others this particular skill. So I would like to see this partnership and this program be perpetuated for years to come.
Well, now, how do people get in touch with you, Charlene, if they want to help you sponsor the kids?
Call me at the Spady Museum. Our number is 561-279-8883, or find us on the internet at www.spadymuseum.com.
Well, today our guest has been Charlene Jones. She's the director of the Spady Center and a very interesting person who wants to create opportunities for the youth in Florida. Thank you so much for being on our show, Charlene Jones.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for listening to The Susan Brender Show.